Hello, this is Sarah, and this video is going to be on 8 things that helped us in our early trilingualism journey. If you don't know us and you just happen to watch this video, I have a daughter. She's being raised as trilingual. I am speaking to her in Albanian, her father is speaking to her in Italian, and we live in a French-speaking country. I am not an expert in language or language development in general, but I'm just a mom who happened to find herself in this journey. I'm trying to document it as much as possible. Between 1 year and 2 years of age, I found it particularly challenging in certain aspects, and that's why I wrote 8 points down that I would have found useful if had I known them from the beginning. The first thing is the golden rule. Everybody is going to tell you, if you talk to them about bilingualism or multilingualism in general, is one parent, one language rule. And normally what it comes down to is each parent talking to their child in their own language, and also if your child speaks to you in another language, you repeat in your own language basically. So for us, if my daughter, for example, speaks to me in Italian or French, I am supposed always to reply in Albanian. The second thing that I found it helps a lot is to visit the countries that speak the languages that your child is trying to learn. The hugest milestones that my daughter has had in terms of language development, she has had those when we traveled to either Albania or Italy. The third thing that I think is important is to be consistent. When they are trilingual, their baby talk is quite gibberish, is funny because they have an accent and they mix a lot, and it's very tempting to answer back in their baby language. However, because they have to learn so much, it is even more important for you not to talk to them in their baby language. Another thing that I read that is important is you don't correct but you repeat. So instead of saying, no, this phrase you shouldn't say it like that, but you say it like this, you rather say yes, meaning I understood you, and you repeat the phrase how they should have said it. This helps them to encourage to talk, even if they don't do it in the proper way. Fourth thing that I found is it helps a lot are the visual links, and by that I mean books. Mainly books and baby sign. How baby sign helps, I think I'm going to cover it in another video, but it's the same more or less principle as books. With our daughter we used books that have plenty of images and very little text, and I will sit down with her and go through them in Albanian, and then my husband will sit down with her and go through them in Italian, and that helps her and not only learn and add vocabulary to each language, it also helps her to distinguish between the two languages. The fifth point will be encourage connections. We always made this game with our daughter. We took an object and we would ask her how mommy calls it, how dada calls it, and how in daycare call it. And I think that helps her to realize that for one object there are 3 labels, and to place each of these labels in the right language, so that whenever she's trying to make a phrase, she's gonna mix less. Sixth point will be encourage the minority language. This is like a purely anecdotal point for me, because I noticed this when after my daughter, she was around 15 months I think of age, and she was trying to say shoe in French for days and days, and until that point I had never heard her speak French, I think. And I understood that she was trying to say shoe in French, and she was super happy. And the same day that I said, oh yeah, that is a shoe in French, and this is how in daycare they call it. And in the same day she started saying mouth and nose and eyes, and even now I notice that there are periods when she kind of holds back in one language, and if I encourage a little bit, she pushes herself to kind of talk more. 7th point is it goes a little bit against the rule number 1, which is one parent, one language, and always answer back in your own language. I found that there are situations where you alienate other people if you keep speaking in your own language. So we have made it a rule that whenever we are in playgrounds or in any social situations where there is another person who does not understand our language, we switch to the language that that person understands. The last point is just keep it going, keep your enthusiasm, and don't let others kind of hold you back or make you insecure about your path. If your child is doing fine and it doesn't have other delays, you keep it going, because there will be a point when your child might be less expressive than other kids, might have less vocabulary in one language, and other people will doubt your ways. But I think it is at early stages that this happens, and as you keep going, their vocabulary grows, how much they can express themselves in one language grows a lot, and then everyone is okay with your choice. So it's just a matter of time. Give it time, and other people will be on your side. At the beginning, they might doubt your way, and this has happened to us with several people, and we just kept doing what we did, and it was fine. You will find some use to what I said. If you have any other suggestions, please leave them below in the description box. And I thank you a lot for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.